clouds. We got enough rain yesterday.
¿Qué onda?
¿Qué onda? Well, good morning, everyone. I will ask everyone to mute your phones, or mute your cameras for the time being. Welcome to the 2021 Construction Opportunity Fair. I am Janice Contreras. I am the Executive Director of the Northeast Ohio Hispanic Center for Economic Development. It is truly an honor to deliver our ongoing programming, our 5th year of the Construction Fair, and in a virtual format. So while we will all love to be in our building, seeing your beautiful faces and networking, we are making the best of the times. This is the second part of a 2-part Construction Fair event. As we were coordinating this event, we're trying to be creative or brainstorm around how do we provide the amount of content into one event, and just knowing how zoomed out people are around being in a monitor for more than we all would like to. So this is really the second part of the event, and it will conclude today at 11. I see a lot of faces that we saw last week, so thank you for coming back and joining us once again. With all of our events, and as a nonprofit event, we would not be able to do our work. Sorry, I need to turn off my office phone. We would not be able to do our work if it wasn't for the support of our partners and sponsors. So thank you all, specifically Whiting Turner, Sherwin-Williams, Welty, and Gilbane, and the Great Lakes Construction. So thank you again for your ongoing support and for going on this adventure with us in this platform and still making it work. We are grateful for that. The intent of the Construction Fair, for any of you that are new to us, was really our efforts or our attempts to really connect opportunities with subcontractors and folks in the workforce. And so that was one need that we saw in the marketplace. We know that a lot of our project owners and prime contractors host their own outreach sessions, and those are great, but it could be quite overwhelming for folks to try to figure out what days and when to go and who's doing what and the timeline. And before you know it, the bid package is out or your time is running out. And so it just makes it very challenging. We've also heard the construction industry, we say this a lot, there's a lot of matchmaking fatigue. And so people get a little just burnt out by having to visit so many different events. And so the idea of having one annual event where we're actually bringing all of the opportunities into one room and making the connections to diverse subcontractors and workforce directly. So this is really helping out our partners who really want to diversify their workforce or their construction practice, as well as create opportunities for the folks that we support here at the center and just the subcontracting and workforce community as a whole. This event is not exclusive to our clients. It's not a Hispanic event. It is really intended to support the industry as a whole, obviously with a focus on diversity and inclusion. So again, thank you for joining us. I'll tell you a little bit about what to expect today. Again, if you weren't with us last week we actually had a really good event. I asked everyone for patience and let's just figure this out together. That has been the theme for the last year for all of us. But we were blessed to have a pretty seamless event thanks to the hard work of my team. I would be remiss without noting them. So behind the Hispanic Business Center screen is Maria Sharp, who is really kind of the mastermind traffic controller of this event, and who will be who you've been working with already during your registration process, but will be guiding our process today. Randy Cedeno, who will introduce himself shortly, Victor Cruz, Nick De Leon. Thank you for your support and participation in making this event happen. So the first part of today, I'm going to introduce Randy shortly, and he'll talk to you a little bit about the services that we provide and how we support the construction industry with our Small Business Development Center and how to access our services. And then he will go into moderating a discussion today on career pathways with our panelists. After that period is over, right around 10 o'clock, we will get into the actual kind of opportunities roundup, which is what we've been calling them. And so the format for the roundup is basically you will be in 3 rooms during the duration of that hour. Every 20 minutes, you will switch rooms, and you will be with a new group of presenters. Once you're assigned to a room, you have to stay in the room. And then again, in 20 minutes, you're going to switch. So just, we ask for your patience. And then there could be up to 3 presenters in a room. So every 5 minutes, a different presenter would talk. So I know it sounds a little crazy and maybe a little confusing. Again, if you didn't do it last week, trust the process. It works. We will get there.
I heard that before.
And actually, after today, for our partners that are participating in the roundup discussions, I know some of you have been asking already, you will get a list of participants, as well as participants will get a program that has the names of all of the presenters and the contact information. The fair, this is only where we're introducing and making these connections. The real magic happens after today, and your ability to engage with each other on both sides of the fence, to make sure that it leads to contracts, to jobs, and to wealth creation in our construction community. So that is really the intent of this event, and everything we've done is intended really for that. So obviously, we are happy to facilitate conversations beyond today, or make connections if there's somebody that you didn't get their contact or whatever. We'll figure it out, but just know that you will be getting a listing. So be patient with us. Early next week, we will wrap up the event and have that to you. Sound good? Are we ready to start? Cool. Without further ado, I'll introduce my colleague and great friend, Randy Cedeno, the director of our Small Business Development Center.
Buenos dias, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. It's great to have everyone with us on the second day of our Construction Opportunity Fair. I am the director of the Small Business Development Center. We work with all clients. You can be pre-venture, you can be thinking about the business, you can be a startup, you can be a pre-existing business. We are here to help you out. Our services are completely free. So anything from performas, working on your business plan, permitting process, if you need to register, certifications, whatever it may be, we are your resource. Now, Janice did say something here. The name of our organization has a big H for Hispanic. However, it doesn't mean you have to be a Hispanic or a Latino to receive our services. It just means that we have the capacity to work with individuals in English, Espanol, or in Spanglish. And if you were here last week, you know my spiel, Spanish should be an official language at this point in this nation. So, I also want to let you guys know that we have a couple events coming up. Social media marketing on April 13th. Training, we have a QuickBooks training on May 18th, a Microsoft Office June 8th, and Business as Unusual, which is a training that we have every third Friday of the month. Now, I do want to make a point here, and that is that, yes, the SBDC is focused on businesses, and we are focusing on workforce today. So if you have an idea, if you want to talk about maybe if there's an opportunity, feel free to reach out. It doesn't cost you anything but time. We do realize that business is not for everybody. And so we would be glad to tell you or let you know, do you have something, do you not have something, should you go forward or not? And we'll do it with grace, I promise. So thank you, everyone. Janice, do you want to add anything here before we start?
The one other thing that I did want to mention, a lot of you guys are aware that we have our own project happening on West 25th and Clark. We purchased the H.J. Weber facility, and that's actually where we've hosted the construction fair the last 2 years. We are hoping to break ground on our project this summer. And so just want to make sure that subcontractors that might be on the call and want to be a part of this project, we will be sending out outreach information shortly on Saturday, April 10th. And again, we'll send all this information out. We'll be hosting an open house. So we're going to open up the facility, have plenty of social distancing, but be able to talk to the community about our intent for the project. The name of the project is Centro Villa 25. So Center of Hispanic Village on West 25th is what it stands for. Super exciting, $9 million project. We are the project owners and co-developers along with Detroit Shoreway, and have brought on a great team to get this work done. So we are super excited to, again, be a project owner and bring something to the neighborhood and the community that has been decades in the making. And hopefully sometime this summer, we will be breaking ground on our own project and want every one of you to be a part of that. This really needs to be a by the people, for the people, but also a way to show that our community can get things done within a timeline, within a budget, within all of those requirements that we know we need in the construction industry. So stay tuned for more Centro Villa 25. I won't stop talking about it till it's done. And then I'll bug you to come. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Janice. All right, so we're going to get into the panel now. We're a couple minutes behind, so I want to save my words and give ample room for our panelists who are experts in the field, who are boots on the ground, who have the experience, and we want them to be able to share. And so we're going to be tackling a few things in the construction industry, and we want to look at pitfalls, challenges, and what are the triumphs. How did you get to the point where you're at? How did you become successful to the point where you are at the moment? And so we have three panelists, and I will not say their complete names. I'll just say their first name and let them do their own intros. I don't want to do a disservice to them. So first off, we're going to start off with Tony from the AKA team. Tony, good morning. Thank you for coming in. And so the first question is, give me a quick intro of who you are, where you at, and share with us your story. How did you get involved? How did you end up in the construction industry?
Well, my name's Tony Hopkins. I'm with AKA Construction. And I've been doing this for about 20 years now. I'm in the construction business, roofing and waterproofing. I grew up on the west side of Cleveland, right on 25th on the Riverview. It used to be CMHA housing over there. That's where I grew up at as a kid, growing up through the 70s and 80s over there. And I went to Lincoln Junior, the one on Scranton Road, Lincoln Junior. And then I was there, and then I got bused, went to the East High, didn't get my diploma. And then I went and got my GED. And then further on down the line, I got introduced to the construction business at, about 28 years old. And then I've been doing it. I got into it going into about 21 years now. And it's been good. We've been doing all kinds of projects. I actually started off as I got in as an apprentice, made it up to a foreman. And now I'm actually a superintendent here at AKA. So, I mean, it's got its nooks and crannies, but it all worked out. It's been good. And I just, the work's hard, but, it's out here for everybody. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. That's fantastic. That's a great story, man. We're from the exact same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so I know, it's literally down the street from us. So completely understand that. Thank you so much. And, for those who are listening, just listening to Tony, his story, right? He didn't finish school, but he went back, got his GED, and went right into the trades. Trades is definitely an option for anyone who is looking to move forward, to grow, and to establish a career. All right. Thank you, Tony. We'll get right back to you. Maria.
Hi there.
Good morning. So if you can give us a quick intro of who you are and tell us, how did you get into this industry?
My name's Maria Maculatus. I currently am based out of Canton, Ohio. I was born in Bolivia, South America, raised in Mexico City, Mexico, lived in several states throughout the United States, landed back in Ohio when I left high school from Mexico City, landed in Ohio, attended Walsh College then, now Walsh University, and kind of fell into construction. So we started my company back in 2000 as a strategic sourcing company. And my number one client, or my company that I started with, was the Timken Roller Bearing Company. started doing strategic purchasing for them. With that being said, we started getting a lot of requests to do feet on the ground kind of projects. So my business partner and I at the time started remodeling all of their different entry areas for every single division inside the Timken Roller Bearing Company. And from there, it kind of catapulted into the next level. We kind of stumbled into some great opportunities, great partners. We were able to do the little things that no one else really wanted to do. So we started doing that. And right now I've got about 25 employees. We work daily. We're at CMHA every day. We landed a contract with them and some other very large organizations doing complete reconstruction of a lot of their buildings. We've been very fortunate to work with some very large contractors who have guided us and helped us along the way, but it wasn't without a lot of blood, sweat, and tears getting to that point. So we're based out of Canton, but we cover all Northeast Ohio.
You, Maria, you said some key words: blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
Definitely requires sacrifice, losing sleep, making the phone calls, showing up, and following up. So thank you so much. Next, we want to bring in Heather from CEA. Heather, if you can come in, introduce yourself, share with us your story, and tell us how you got involved.
Okay, so happy Friday again, everybody. Sorry again with I have an attachment of a camera, so I felt bad. Nobody can see me, but some of you guys I know on the line. So started my company in 2015. Had a safety service prior to that in 2009. I'm a union contractor, so I'm signatory to the iron workers, cement finishers, and the laborers. We work on turnpike bridges. We place concrete. We place a lot of rebar for concrete companies. We will do small projects ourselves. And then we also do safety services. And I come from the safety world. So I want people to always remember that are on the call that it's not just the labor on a construction site. It's not just being that project manager or a superintendent. There's also that need for safety professionals out there. And those are the ones that will do safety inspections for company. They're gonna make sure that the guys and the ladies out there are safe in what they're doing every day. They're gonna be teaching them and just concerned. So if anybody is ever interested in getting into safety, Janice, I'll make sure that you get my number and I can help them carve their way into that career. And it's just not for construction industry, although I love construction. If you love safety, you just love safety, but you can go anywhere with the safety. And it goes from training to being that person on that job site, making sure everybody's following all of the OSHA regulations. What else do you want to know?
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Perfect. So Heather, actually, I'm going to lead this one with you as well, our next question. And, what support opportunities are available to individuals looking to get into the construction field?
What opportunities? There are tons of opportunities that are out there. Like your program, the Hispanic Chamber, you guys have your program. You have Urban League has a Work Now program. You have Max Hayes, where some of the young students that are in high school, they take advantage of the different programs to get in there. I know that there are certain times a year that the different halls will have orientation, or they'll have somewhat like open enrollment, and they'll be taking applications. That's a great opportunity to be able to do that. And sometimes even when you're interested and there's a company, and sometimes you ride around and you see different company signs on fences or trucks, you can sometimes even just call that company and see if they're looking to hire somebody. Or a lot of times some companies will sponsor certain individuals to come into the industry.
Thank you, Heather. Maria, I'm going to bring this one to you as well. what support opportunities are available to individuals looking to get into the construction field?
Well, there are the opportunities, just like Heather said, are just endless. It's a matter of creating the opportunity, and that relies heavily on yourself as well as building the relationships with other organizations. Like she said, knocking on that door, and going out and doing the outreach programs that are being set up by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, by the Akron Urban League, by the large contractors that are always out searching for partners. They're just like we are always in need of building good partnerships. There's plenty of opportunities. It does take a very long, dedicated process. You can't just sit there and try once and go, okay, it didn't work out. My name was like, felt like I was on a poster. There were a group of us that would show up to every single outreach. Did it for years on end, never gave up, still do to this point. This past year obviously has been a challenge for everyone, but knocking on doors, and looking at outside the box and trying to recreate opportunities or different angles in which you guys can work together. But there are many opportunities out there. And it's just about being, perseverance pays off. And there's no other way to put it. You have to be persistent, dedicated, if you want to succeed.
Thank you, Maria. And if everyone is listening, Heather and Maria shared basically endless opportunities. There is opportunities. It's just how hard are you going after it? Are you building those relationships? Are you knocking on doors? Are you making those phone calls? The follow-up as a business advisor, and I'm going to interject here a little bit. One of the biggest complaints I get from prime contractors is I didn't get a follow-up. They didn't call me. They didn't show up. I can't use them. I need someone who's going to deliver, someone who's going to be on time, someone who's going to call, someone I can depend on. So before you even get the job, you need to be dependable. So take that as a nugget, guys. Take that as a nugget. All right. My next question here, and I'll start this one with Maria, and then I'll open it up to Tony and Heather as well.
Don't forget, as far as getting in on construction, don't forget, every union hall has apprenticeship programs.
That's fantastic, Tony, because that's leading right into my next question. So
right.
let's have you start this one. The question is, how can individuals of color get engaged with labor unions, and what insight or recommendations can you make?
I think, first of all, when you want to get in construction, you should seriously think about, is this what you want to do? Because it's not no regular job. It's good money, and they expect, to be on time, like you said, and to work. And not the stereotype or none, but being a Latino or a Black person, when you come in to these jobs, they automatically think like, oh, he's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? They think of something. They say they don't, but they do. They look at you a certain way. So when you make sure this is what you want to do, and then when you come in, you got to be on time and work hard, like you were saying. You got to do the work and put the time in it, and you got to work extra hard at it. That's why I say be sure this is what you want to do and be committed to it. Because if you're not, and you're going to come in here and you already got one strike against you. They say it ain't, but it happens. We want to keep it real talk. That's how it is. So you want to show out. You want to come and show out. You want to do something extra, do it. But as far as getting, every union hall has an apprenticeship program. And what you can do is, if you want to be a laborer, you get a hold of 310. You want an iron worker, you go to 17. You want a roof, you go to 44, which is my union. And we all have, every summer we jump off with apprenticeship programs. So, and a lot of them require your high school diploma now. If you don't got a diploma, you need a GED. I mean, they stepped it up since I got in. But I just think it's you need to stress that this is something you want to do, because, you see them, you hear it's good money, you come in, and you don't perform, then they let you go. You just got to show up and do the work. But there's apprenticeship programs, I could give you my number if you want to get a hold of me, like there's Bill Franklin at my hall, which is local 44. It's down on East 24th and right off Payne. They're starting up next month. They're going to have an apprenticeship program. You can go down there and sign up. get in it, you know, and feel it. See if this is what you like, if this is what you want to do. But other than that, you know, and you got, like if you're in high school or something, I'm sure you got guidance counselors or something that could give you numbers or, you know, get you plugged in somewhere over to the union halls. Or a friend of a friend, you know, 9 times out of 10, somebody's dad knows somebody, you know, there's different ways to get in, but I'd say the most secure way is to get the phone number of choose what you want to do, whether it be a labor, you know, like I was saying, an iron worker, get that phone number at that union hall and then call and talk to their BA and find out, you know, are you got when is apprenticeship, when's it starting? And then you can get in that way. That's the best way, because if you don't know nothing about construction, the way to go is the apprenticeship. That way you start off low, but you're gonna find out everything there is to know about it. They can't say nothing to you that way.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Heather, I'm going to bring this one to you as well. How can individuals of color get engaged with labor unions, and what insider recommendations do you make?
Oh, some of the things that Tony said, definitely, I would just, I mean, most people are tech savvy right now. So I would say use your phone, use that smartphone, use use your computer if you can. Start looking up, what does a laborer do? Investigate a laborer. And a lot of times you can find the wages. And I'm sure that the different organizations can provide you with the different rates. All the time it's not about the money. What am I gonna really like doing every day? So sometimes when people think labor, they think, well, I'm gonna be cleaning up behind everybody. But those guys and ladies, they make a very good wage. See all the things that comes with it. What am I going to get as a laborer or as an iron worker or as a carpenter or a cement finisher? You know, there's annuities that you'll get. There's your health benefits that you'll have. So I would start because we're in COVID, definitely events like this. Anytime somebody's doing an event, if there's a guidance counselor, like Tony recommended, reach out to them. But I would get on that internet. All of that stuff is posted on the websites, and see when they're having fairs, when they're going to be taking the application, and then do the investigation. What does a laborer do? What does an operator do? What does a iron worker do? And you can look up a lot of that stuff online, and you can look at YouTube videos, and they'll show you exactly what tasks they're doing on a daily basis. I mean, you won't see everything, but it'll give you a good idea of what's there. And definitely you can always reach out to us, some of the members that are on the panel. I'm more than happy to kind of guide you, kind of talk with you, and tell people anything that I know. And one of the nice things is being able to hook them up with a journey person, somebody that's went through that apprenticeship program, someone like a Tony. And those are the people that are kind of nice to be able to talk to, because they do it every day. So that would be my suggestion.
Thank you, Heather. And just to go a little, this is completely out of date, but there's these little books, and these are the union agreements. And inside you can find a lot of information. Obviously, it's probably a lot of too much information, but in here you can find the rates of how much each person gets paid, or what trade. So these are great as well. I'm sure you can find these online. You can also pick these up at the union halls, organizations such as, I'm not sure, Heather, maybe CEA has some of these as well, but these are basically, you can find these pretty easily. But once again, you just got to do the digging. You got to call, you got to show up and find them.
And you know what else I wanted to say, Randy? It's one of the things too, because some of the apprenticeship programs, they're like excellent. Some of the programs, like the iron workers, they finish their apprenticeship. And so when they finish, they have 2 years of college, and they can go to Tri-C and get their associate's degree. So if they wanted to become that superintendent, if they wanted to become a project manager, it's a nice way to spring deeper into the industry, right? And they want to look for those opportunities. Who's giving me credits for college? What kind of training do you have? I know that the carpenters, they have a training center in Vegas that they send people out to, and they get extra training. It's so much out there. It's a wealth of information. I just say reach out to us, and we can help them along the way.
Heather. Maria, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think Heather and Tony hit the nail on the head. You know, like Tony said, we have to go, we already have a stereotype that people have in their heads about certain ethnic groups, and we have to one up that. So we're going to go in and prove them wrong. And that's something I've done since day one. I'm like, give me an opportunity. Don't judge me for what I look like. Judge me for what I can do. And that sometimes that opportunity is sometimes hard and can come prejudged. But like Tony said, and like Heather said, you know, you dig in, you do your research, you go in and you don't do anything half-heartedly. Go in and give it your all, do the best that you can, do the training, do the research, and, you know, raise that bar. You know, we're trying to, you know, shatter that glass. You know, we're trying to go up above and beyond. And it's frustrating at times. Don't get me wrong. It is frustrating, but it's never stopped me. I just look at them, go challenge accepted. And I bust through it every time. I don't let that stop me.
That's awesome, Maria. Bust through that glass. I always say it as make your ceiling your new floor. Same thing, but you need to break through. You need to push through. And you know, one of the things I want to add here is that Cleveland is basically a union town. If you didn't know that, you should know that by now. And so you should really be looking in. If you're trying to get into this industry, you should be really talking and searching and figuring out, you know, what unions are available, what trades are there. Do I have any experience? Do I need to acquire experience? Is the apprenticeship the right thing for me? Do I want to go to college and get my associates? As Heather mentioned, there's opportunities. You just, how hungry are you? That is the key question here. How hungry are you for it? And so here's our next question. What is the biggest challenge in the construction labor force? What is the biggest challenge in the construction labor force? And I'm going to start off with Tony on this one.
I refer to like what I said earlier. It depends on if you're, you know, if you're a minority, that's a challenge right there. Because like I was saying earlier, you're stereotyped, you know. So when you get in there and you do, say you do go through the apprenticeship and you get in there, like Maria and I was saying that's when you get in there and I don't want to say, you know, you just bust your butt, you know, and the easiest thing is to get in there. The hardest thing is to keep it, you know, and you're going to have, when you get in there, I just want people to know when they get in there and they're apprentices, don't get discouraged. I don't want to, you know, say nothing wrong, but you're going to have old guys that think they know it all. And, you know, but they all been through it. They all been through the, you know, the apprenticeship program. You're not going to know everything. So I say the biggest thing is when you get in there, just show out. That's what you do. You get there and you show them because they're already thinking, you know, oh, he's just here for a check or he's just this, he's this, that, but no. When you get there, you know, and then you elevate yourself, you know, you come, you know, you start off as an apprentice, then you get the journeyman, then you get the foreman, you know, and then you get the superintendent like I did. And the biggest challenge I had was once I got in you know, it was that, okay, he's here working, as long as he's going to be here, but I just busted my butt, you know, and I got to doing what I had to do. But I think for kids these days, I mean, for people that want to get into construction these days, the biggest thing is the hardest thing is to get, you know, once you get in, you need to be on time and you need to be there every day, you know, because they're waiting for you to slip up, you know, because they could get somebody right else in there. So I just think you need to get in there and, you know, put your boots to the pavement and keep doing it and keep your head up and don't get discouraged because like I said, the biggest thing is once these kids get in there, these young guys get in there, they got journeymen that know it all. No, they don't know a deadly squat. They knew what you knew at that time. So don't get discouraged and you don't want to quit or do none of that. I just stay with it. You know, don't listen to nobody because you know, you can be your worst enemy sometimes. You know? And the best thing to do is when you see that check, you'll be back.
Thank you, Tony. That's a great point. 3 points that I got here is it's easy to get in, hard to keep. Don't get discouraged. It's a thing that we keep listening to. And I love this quote, boots to the pavement, show up, be there, make it happen, prove yourself to others. And that's how you're going to keep it. Tony, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro.
Maria, what is the biggest challenge in the construction labor force?
Going on off of what Tony said, is showing up, getting people to show up. One thing I am, being the owner of the company, I don't hesitate to show up on site and work right alongside them if need be. If they're going down, because things just got crazy, things happen on job sites, something comes up unexpected, I don't hesitate to, tell them to scoot over, hand me a shovel or whatever needs to be done to get the job done. So I think showing the labor force that works with you that you're not afraid to get dirty and get down with them to make sure that they succeed, because if they don't succeed, you don't succeed, and making it a big team effort. Also trying to hone in on the fact that the trades are never going to go away. That is one thing. You could be degreed, you can have 15 different degrees, but guess what? The laborers, the people that are in the trades, are going to be the ones that put it together. If you need plumbers, if you need iron workers, if you need carpenters, electricians, you name it, anybody that's in the trade will never not have a job. If you don't have a job, then that's on you, not on anybody else but yourself, because there's always construction somewhere. And like Tony said, if you're going in and you have journeymen, that you're not going to get along with everybody. So if that journeyman isn't willing to teach you, find somebody else that will. There's always someone in that group that is willing to teach. Not every here's the thing: if a journeyman's smart, he's going to teach that apprentice how to do things. Less work he has to do. The less work he has to do, it's going to make his life or her life a lot easier. If you have someone that can share the burden of the work. If you don't, you want to keep that information to yourself, you're going to work 10 times harder. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I kind of shed that light on people. I'm like, teach them to help you. Some people feel that they're going to get replaced. There's always work out there. And if you're a good employee, you're not going to be replaced. You make yourself irreplaceable.
That's good. Make yourself irreplaceable. So I got a few things here. Show up, get the job done. Don't be afraid to get dirty. And the trades will never go away. And we have something for certain is we need a doctor, we need food, and we're going to need trades forever. Guaranteed. Heather, so we're going to finish this one off with you. What is the biggest challenge in the construction labor force?
So ditto a lot to what Maria and Tony both said. I just think that when you once you get a job, I think that, again, you need to work as hard as you can. Train yourself. I would always suggest buy a small notebook, and write down the tasks that you do every day. Write down what you're doing so you can remember it, so you can review it, so you can go over with it, so you can go to your foreman and say, hey, is this right? We do, whatever that task is, making sure you know all the steps and studying those steps. So when you go to another job site with a different crew, you can be an asset. You have to figure out, how do I blend? How do I make myself valuable for the crew that I'm working with? So every crew that you work with, because there'll be different guys, different ladies, you want them to say, hey, I'm a great employee. They'll want to see you coming. They'll be like, yay, Tony's here today. We know he knows what he's doing. He works hard, and we're all going to have an easy day. Everybody, no one should be skipping to their car. Everybody's walking and they're tired, and if somebody's skipping, something is wrong, right? And once that team bonds, then they can all skip to their car because they've leveled out the work for the day. So I say, pay attention, be smart about it, be an apprentice. It's okay to be an apprentice. It's okay not to know things. It's okay not to really know how to use a hammer. I used to think that anybody can use a hammer. Well, you got to know how to swing that hammer. You know, it takes a lot of effort and not to hit your shin or your knee, right? And I've seen it happen so many times with apprentice, and you kind of laugh and say, okay, but those things are going to happen. It's okay. Just be on time every day. If you say you're going to be there, be there. Get there early. You know, if work starts at 7:30, get there at 7:15. Have your morning coffee. Get yourself relaxed. Have your boots on. You know, so if it starts at 7:30, at 7:25, you should be looking for your foreman. See, getting in that morning huddle. You know, and as you get more introduced in what you're doing, participate. Be a part of what's going on. If they say there's safety concerns, if they say something's going on, let them know that piece of equipment is broke. Let them know that hand tool is split, that somebody taped up. You know, be a part of the company and that crew that you're working with. And I think that they will have great success.
Thank you, Heather. Take notes, become the asset, make yourself valuable, show up early. That is fantastic. Thank you, Heather. So before I open it up to questions from our attendees, is there any other remarks any of you three would like to add? Tony, Maria, or Heather?
I just say oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Maria. Go ahead.
Nope, just gonna say perseverance pays off. And look what Tony did. He went from starting from the ground up. Now he's a superintendent, which means he showed up. He did what he had to do, and he went above and beyond. Now he's a superintendent. That speaks volumes.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Anything you want to add?
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, just keep at it. I just, like she said, for everybody listening, it's there. I'm, Latino grew up on the west side of Cleveland in the projects. Now I'm a superintendent of $1 million company. So it's there, you just got to get out and grab it. Like I said, we ain't cutting grass no more. We building buildings. Latinos are out here. So we got it going on, Jay. Ain't no telling us nothing no more.
Right. And I just want to say that it's just not a job that you're getting. It's a career.
Amen.
It's a career. And I want people to look at the construction industry as a career. Tony has 20 plus years, right? So it's a career. It's just not a job.
Right.
Thank you, Heather. And the church says amen, like Maria said. That's a great point. It is a career. It is a career. All right, so thank you all. We are just about on time. We're a little behind, so I want to open it up. Does any of our attendees have any questions that you'd like to make to the panel at this moment? And I think you can unmute yourself and make the question, or feel free to use the chat box. We are active on the chat box as well.
This is Rich Estermer. How is the labor market right now in your industries?
Who would like to answer that?
It's tough. It's not been easy.
As far as
From
my
a
side,
perspective of maintaining, keeping, attaining?
D, all the above. Yep. It's just I've seen we're looking for staff members constantly. I have been fortunate the group that I have had has been on board for quite some time, but we're constantly expanding. We're constantly getting more projects. We're looking for people with skill and unskilled, but there's a balance. So you can't have too many unskilled and having one chief and a lot of Indians, so to speak, with that, group of supervisor, skilled supervisor, because you can only spread them out so far when you're training them on site, and they're learning things, and they'll have a lot of questions, which we want them to ask questions. You don't want to have something they did, give 110%, but the wrong direction. Appreciate the efforts, but redoing something just costs time and money. But it has been a challenge. It seems that those that are working are, and those that aren't, there's a reason. For one reason or another, good, bad, or indifferent, it shows. Like Tony, says, and Heather had said that, you have to show up. That is the biggest thing. Great, you talk a great game, you look good on paper, but the proof is in the pudding. Show me what you got.
Yep.
Tony, you want to add to that, or Heather?
Heather?
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, I mean, as far as the work market out where I'm at, it's good. I mean, the unions are always hiring, it's their job. For instance, if you went to my union and got an apprenticeship, you'd probably be working in the next, month or so, or 2 weeks, whenever you got down there, the quickest. But the union industry is always hiring. There's so many unions out here, and there's so many jobs that they need filled. I mean, it's an open game. It's as if you want it, go get it, and if you do decide to go this way and get in a union, the biggest thing to do is, like we all said, just be there and be on time, and and the calling late and all that. You can't do none of that, because it's fortunate if you do get in, you'll love it. But as far as their building, like you said, Ohio's getting big. Ohio's got buildings going up all the time. They're always going to need construction workers. So there's all kind of work. You just got to go out there and find it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I found that it was probably difficult because of COVID, and people were nervous about coming into work, and they were concerned with their safety and safety of their children, et cetera, et cetera. And so I know that my company, we went through that, didn't lose a lot of people, but had to really give that reassurance. We all know by the numbers how many people are on unemployment. A lot of people lost their jobs. I know in our industry, a lot of people left the workforce because they didn't feel safe working. They didn't want to, catch the virus, which was totally understandable. I think that anybody that wants to get into this industry right now is a perfect time, because even now there's some people that haven't re-entered the industry. So those apprenticeship programs will be looking for people to fill those voids and fill those spaces. So I think this is kind of perfect timing.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Thank you.
Just to add one point here, probably about a year ago, just before COVID hit, I heard a prime contractor say, we can put everyone to work in the trades and we still don't have enough people. I mean, there's still too much work. So there is opportunity. As you have heard over and over, as I've mentioned as well, how hungry are you? Are you going to put the work in? Show up, call, follow up. And we have 3 minutes here. Do we have any other questions at this point that we can answer quickly?
This is Richard Levitz. Good morning, everybody.
Buenos dias.
I think what's really important here is to reach out to high school students and give them the option. There are many students who would do extremely well in the trades, or that can then move into management depending on their interests, but they are just not given, not even the idea that this is an option besides, hey, going to college. And even Tri-C has programs probably that could go hand in hand with some kind of a training. So if any of these companies that are present here can do some outreach to some of the local high schools, that would be great, or connect with Esperanza, which has a great after school program, that would be terrific. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. CEA is one of those organizations that's doing that as well, working with the high schools. I don't know, Heather, if you want to add anything to that?
Yes, CEA works with ACE. So architect, construction and engineering. So they do East Side schools and West Side schools. And then they also have different outreach programs. And definitely, Richard, if you know of something, I know I've done some personally. I've even done third grade career days. Some school districts are starting their kids in third, fourth grade and introducing them to all kind of industries. And we came in and introduced them to construction, right? So for the third graders, you know, I bring vests and I bring hats and safety glasses and gloves, and they sit while you talk and they're trying it on and they're like, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, you know, so I agree with you, Richard. If we can get them young, the younger, the better, and ingrain this industry in their head and let them know that this is a great opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our panelists, Tony, Maria, and Heather. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your insight, talking about your experience and sharing with us. We are at the 10 a.m. mark. So we're going to start going into our rollout sessions here. Just quick overview. To make life easy, you are going to see in the middle of your screen some prompts. It will tell you 5 minutes. It'll tell you when the next speaker will be coming. We'll be having 1 to 3 partners in every single room. They will be giving their presentation. You will have a chance to make your questions. Just be patient with us. It takes some time to move everyone into the rooms. So Maria, you can take it away. Maria Sharp on this end from HBC. She'll be taking it away and you will be in your rooms in a couple of minutes here. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for your time.
Before everybody splits up, there could be 3 to 4 partners per room. Partners, this week, you're only gonna have 4 minutes. So I know we got great practice last week, so we're gonna ask you to give us a minute back just because it takes us a little bit of reallocating folks into rooms. We also have less rooms this week to try to maximize how many opportunities we could present per room. So just a little tweak to our schedule next week. For our participants, when you are in a room, sit tight in that room and the magic happens on the back end. So we will switch you. Each room lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. And then at the end, we'll come back, we'll do some closing remarks, and everybody could enjoy the sunny, beautiful day in the weekend, all right? So we will see you shortly. Enjoy. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you found the informational sessions informational, the breakout sessions with all of our partners and opportunities galore. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, remember that the real magic really happens beyond the time we spent together these last 2 Fridays in making connections, reaching out to the partners, meeting participants and folks that could be on your project on the workforce side as well as the enterprise. We're always happy to facilitate. Once again, I want to thank Whiting Turner, Sherwin-Williams, Welty, and Gilbane, Great Lakes Construction for your ongoing support and sponsorship of this program and all of the other partners that have supported this initiative. Thank you. To our panelists, thank you, thank you. I see Arian and I see Richard Lovitz and some of the folks from last week. So thank you for your support and your time and commitment to helping us grow wealth through enterprise and workforce opportunities in the construction field. To my team who has pulled this off and has helped us figure out how to exist virtually and bring on a quality program to you these last 2 days. Thank you for that as well. Definitely use this as a resource to connect you to anyone on here. Again, as I mentioned, at the conclusion of this, and probably not till Monday, you will get a list of participants and a list of partners. We want to be really, really, really intentional. We would have wasted our time if we are not really making connections and getting folks to this. So if you need a PPP loan, if you need access to capital, if you're trying to get into the labor unions, if you need to know how to bid on that big Sherwin-Williams project, if you need some coaching and mentoring on how to do it, anything, we are here to help you. There's really no limit on that. So tap into those resources. I, again, thank you for your trust and your time and your commitment, and look forward to working with you in 2021, a healthy 2021, and seeing you guys in person before this year is over. So we will hope for that. And meanwhile, I will let you go and have a great weekend. Feel free to share some feedback with us if there's anything that we could have done differently or to improve this program or so forth. I think we have, maybe a minute if there's any remarks or any last thoughts that anybody wanted to add before.
I just want to say great job. Great job.
Thanks.
I loved it and it was wonderful.
Thank you.
Echo that sentiment as well. Excellent. This has been excellent.
Great.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I will leave you guys. Happy Friday. Happy sunny Friday. Have a great weekend and we'll be in touch.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Denise.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.